Hi, I'm Ajit Pai. I'm the chairman of the FCC. Recently, there's been quite a bit of conversation about my plan to restore internet freedom. Here are just a few of the things you'll still be able to do on the internet after these Obama-era regulations are repealed. You can still cram your food.
December 13th, 2017. It was the day before the FCC voted in favor of removing the network neutrality law. But why though? Is it the fact that he absolutely goes out of his way to remain as unprofessional as possible? Or did he simply underestimate the American people's love for freedom? I've been analyzing this video for days now, and quite frankly, I'm still mesmerized by it. The corporate stock music still makes my ears throb, while the same royalty-free ding sound effect plays multiple times throughout. I spared you guys by drowning out the actual audio of the video because it's really, actually that bad. But if you want to see the original version of the video, I'm sure it's still up on YouTube. But maybe we're asking the wrong questions here. I've been writing the script to this video for weeks, and the clock is ticking. And if we don't act now, something bad is bound to happen. So now that I got that edgy, gritty, dark intro out of the way, let's get into the meat of it. What? You really thought I was gonna take myself that seriously? So, big tech corporations, right? You know them. Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon maybe, I don't know. You name it, it probably exists. But how do they play a role in all of this? And more importantly, why is it that leaving them to solely control the entire internet and the laws that go along with it is not only a bad thing, but could also be a grave mistake as well? So obviously, we all know that Facebook has been in hot water for almost 2 years now. But why exactly should there be any concern for what Facebook is doing? Well, for one, back in April of 2013, Facebook was being accused of performing a malicious and fraudulent scheme in order to exploit and export vast amounts of private user data to earn Facebook even more revenue than they already have, and possibly force rivals out of the business in the process. And in fact, this went so far that Mark Zuckerberg was summoned to the US congressional hearing, and where he was to testify about the true intentions of Facebook, the Cambridge Analytica crisis, and its overall place in influencing the 2016 election. Sounds like a fun time, right? Well, to be completely honest, this entire ordeal was 10 hours long. No, I'm not kidding. It actually was. And it's such a shame that not really much came from it that we didn't already know. Except for a few things. For one, Mark made an apology for all the data that was extracted from the over 81 billion users that were currently active at that time. But that's not enough. We need to go deeper. How about this hearing wreaking havoc on the stocks of the company? Or maybe Zuckerberg admitting that his own personal information was stolen by a third-party company. Sweet, sweet irony. So before we start, this topic is actually mainly going to be about the current state of YouTube and a law that's going to take effect on the 1st of January next year. This law is known as COPPA. It was originally a law to protect the privacy of children under 13 on the internet. The act was passed by US Congress in 1998 and didn't take effect until April of 2000. COPPA is a law that is managed by the Federal Trade Commission, also known as the FTC. So, with all of that being said, what does YouTube have anything to do with this?
We have a variety of tools at our disposal to cull through those 23 million channels and in an expeditious way. So when we talk about aggressiveness, we are typically talking about civil penalties. Not only can we sue Google and YouTube for compliance with COPPA, but also individual channel owners and content creators.
Well, because a bunch of parents that use iPads to raise their kids decided to make YouTube the modern day equivalent of the Disney Channel, the FTC came down on the YouTube Corporation for not following the COPPA guidelines, which in turn means YouTube is coming down on us, the common person. So basically, when you upload a video on YouTube now, it gives you the option to choose whether or not the video is targeted towards children. If you select yes on that, the video will not show up in any search results. Likes and dislikes will be just outright disabled, and comments will be disabled as well. However, if you say no, that your video is not meant for children, and the FTC deems that your video actually is for children, that is when the FTC can fine you over $47,000 per video. Think about how many videos that is. Think about how many users are on YouTube. Now think about how many lawsuits that would actually feasibly be. Yes, YouTubers do put videos up on YouTube to turn a profit, but on the flip side of the coin, they do not put videos up on YouTube to babysit your kid. Think about it this way. When Jod Karam, one of the co-founders of YouTube, uploaded the very first video on YouTube in the mid-2000s, think about it for a second. Did he ever have the intention of that video being for children? Did he ever have the intention of any video on YouTube's website in the future being specifically targeted towards children? Of course not. It's ridiculous. Yeah, there is still a chance to stop COPPA from happening, but in order to do that, you have to comment on the FTC's official complaint forum, which, by the way, has absolutely awful UI, almost dedicatedly made to throw you off and not want to do that in the first place.
And I'm just going to be frank, not enough people either know about this, not enough people are talking about this.
So this is very vaguely defined, and it basically covers anything that can even be viewed as a criticism of a douchebag or just a very well thought out critique. For example, iDubbbz's content cop on Leafy was the biggest one that just got taken down out of nowhere yesterday as a result of this change.
This new YouTube rule, this requirement that creators mark their videos as either for kids or not, is too simplistic.
So on December 10th of this year, YouTube will have the option to delete any video that is not monetized without question. Yes, I'm being serious. If you don't believe me, which you should, it's YouTube after all. Here are the next policy guidelines. YouTube may terminate your access or your Google account's access to all or part of the service if YouTube reasonably believes that its provision of the service to you is no longer commercially viable.
I think I've made my point now. Okay, so I'm well aware that this portion of the video may seem a little far-fetched, but in my 11 years of being exposed to the internet, one thing has always stood out to me, and that's stylistic change. You ever notice that all websites look the same now? Same old grayscale color palette with minimal shapes as the logo? You may think this is just the evolution of corporate style or corporate logos or whatnot, but no, I believe it is actually deeper than that. Case in point, YouTube. Again. Now, this is an extremely vast topic that I am going to be currently talking about, so I'm going to try and keep it as concise as possible. Take a look at how YouTube was in the year 2006 versus now. In 2006, you could completely and easily customize your channel as you see fit, and you can make it look as great or awful as you would like. Your choice entirely. It was essentially creating your own website inside of a website. However, if you look at the customization options on YouTube now, it's been stripped to the point where it is completely bare bones. All you could edit now is your profile picture and your channel banner. And same thing goes for Twitter as well. All you could add is your picture and your background picture. That is it. Also, comparing forums to social media, why is it that most social media websites nowadays have circles as profile pictures rather than squares? No, seriously, bring the squares back. Like I said earlier, a lot of what I'm saying may very well be far-fetched, and may just be how I solely feel about the situation at hand. But honestly, I miss the Wild West days of the internet. I miss when everything was new, you weren't at the risk of getting your channel shut down for no reason, and above all else, I miss when you didn't have to worry about some alien overlord looking dude extracting your data. But by YouTube and other sites slowly taking away customization features from us, it almost feels as though we're symbolically getting stripped of our freedom online. As weird as that sounds. So that's basically the end of this video, and honestly I really wish I could extend this, expand my thoughts maybe, and there's certainly a lot of stuff that I haven't gotten to touch on yet that I really wanted to, but I unfortunately, like I said earlier, have to end this video. But before I do so, let me just ask you something. Are you so willing to trust these corporations now?